All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, hello, hello, hello. Hello to you, good people. How are we all doing this morning, this afternoon? Good day, guys, and as always, very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Broadcasting to you live over Melbourne City. Obviously, it's not Melbourne City in the background, but any background for the camera today. Just throw you guys off a little bit. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Hope you're all having a good week so far. Let me just get rid of these trades taken from yesterday. Yeah, so big day ahead. Obviously, we've got a massive day with CPI to come for the US dollar. Did shake things up yesterday, PPI, obviously, and whatever came out of the speech from the Fed chair. To be honest, I haven't really caught up with what has gone on. I was on the chart up until about 5 minutes before PPI was released, and my call with the Discord members, which was just a quiet call. There's only a few on the call, but I know those people on the call, and we had a really good conversation and did some educational stuff as well. So do get involved, guys, if you have not done so. We'll be doing a live stream again this evening for the Discord members for NY session. So obviously, as mentioned before, today we have a big day with CPI to be released. So far, well, what's to be expected of it? Forecast is to be less than the previous. So if that's the case, then what that may suggest is that inflation could be becoming under more control, which could mean that the US, the Fed, may consider at some point down the line cutting rates moving forward into this year. Obviously, we need to wait to see what comes of that. Also, we've got retail sales to come, so that's going to be a big one. And core retail sales as well. So CPI month on month, year on year. So big day for the US dollar. Need to, obviously, if you are to be trading later, need to be very wary of that. And maybe things could be a little bit unusual up until then, especially with gold. But nonetheless, as always, guys, we will have a look at GJ, gold, eventually GU and NAS. So no rush. Let's see how we go. Yesterday, as per the analysis at the end of the stream, got in a gold trade and was GJ trade. I was happy to see that some of the Discord guys and some of the guys that I coached did also get involved in this buy based off the analysis, as price tapped into what was a previous 4-hour resistance here to the left, only to bounce off it, close a strong bullish candle, and then bullish engulfing to that resistance, formed out support. That was a nice catalyst to look for a buy option, and it was good to see gold analysis also at the end of the stream play out. And I know some managed to get into some gold sells a bit later on based off this candle here, which was a minus support in 15 minutes. So it was a short-lived sell would have been, but it still would have definitely got you about 15 to 20 pips by the looks of it. So good to see the analysis playing out. They ended up in a 1% profit for me, so it was a good one. Yeah, so it just goes to show, if we manage our losses, keep them small, and we get our full win back, then what we're likely to do is end up in a really nice profit. So there we go. Anyway, guys, let's get stuck into it, and let's start as always with the beast that is GJ. And as we can see, the current weekly forming a very strong bullish candle, high low to the previous. So by this time of the week, what that is likely to suggest to me is I'd be looking down to the 4-hour and 30-minute time frames to look to see where any pullbacks could potentially be met by a support before we head back up to potentially retest the high. And if you have the volume momentum, continue to create a high and push further into a level where I still think there's a good chance we could end up to 197, 850, 198, sort of 198 flat, that sort of level moving forward into this week. So onto the daily, and we do remain bullish, and once again closing very strong bullish candles, high low, high. Current candle is pulling back, has a high low, high. It is at a strong level though. Well, it's quite evident on the 4 hours, so hence why we could be rejecting just now. However, seeing we have formed support at the low, we have formed resistance at the high, should either side of that be able to look for continuation options. Not going to mark in the high because we see we've got a strong level of resistance to the left, and also it's more evident on the 4 hour. So as for sells below low, that could be an option. If we are to respect the current daily candles low to support formed at that level, And what we're likely to do is either remain range bound or begin to pop above, create a higher high to the current day's candle, and potentially start to engulf and pop above the resistance here to the left hand side. So now onto the 4 hour, and I'm calling it bullish. I decided yesterday I'm calling it bullish. It is in an over uptrend, but we are really honing in on this resistance just now. So it's not a great deal of margin. It's for the level. I kind of want to incorporate that wick. There's not going to be a zone if you use from the high to the closure or to the open, that bearish candle. Sorry, you're literally not going to have a zone. So I've got to incorporate some sort of zone. That wick sort of ties up with it's sort of in line with the candles over here to the left hand side. So you could do either. It's one of those sort of ones right now. Probably just leave it at that actually. So as we can see, there is very little room until the 4 hour resistance. We've just recently formed support, a weak bullish candle. Current candle has broken low of it. If we were to continue bearish, sorry, we should not need to pull back and break our own high. So sells below a current daily candle's low look so far to be a potential option. We'll see what we got once we go down to the M30, if we can find any levels for a potential buy. Now I'm going to mark in 2 levels. I'm going to mark in the most recent support. I'm going to mark in the most recent resistance we've broken out of, and I want to see what happens if we do pull back to those levels, or I want to see if we actually have done so yet on the minor time frame, the 30-minute. All right, so as we can see, we kind of have immediately after we broke and closed above here on a 30. So I'm just going to drag this up a little bit and so. All right, so below the current daily candle's low, there is a few issues running into not only that previous 4 hour resistance, but also resistance which did turn support here to the left hand side. So right now we can see we're currently range bound. Have we got any margin above the high? In my opinion, we don't, because we're running straight into the wick here on the 30-minute time frame, and above that, I mean, there's about 20 pips, but you're buying it basically right into that 4 hour resistance. So it's a tricky one for the buyers upon continuation today on GJ. As much as it would make sense, got to be cognizant of the fact we're at a very strong level of resistance on the higher time frame, the weekly, the 4 hour, also the daily. It is a level of resistance, so I'm just weary of that, which could be kind of off-putting. So having said that, I'd rather get in buys from lower down. So could be options if price does pull back, break the current daily candle's low, retest that 4 hour resistance from yesterday, form a support above it, and I'd be looking for my catalyst to take a potential buy back up towards the highs from that level there. So I'm just going to put buys above 196,620 to be back to roughly that level anyway. Now we have a buy option. So what we're doing now, we've created a low within the current daily candle. We're starting to pop back above this support. We got resistance on a 15, not just yet. This 15-minute candle is about to close in the next 30 odd seconds. I would really love for it to, even if it pops up and engulfs that 30-minute candle, then wait for a new 15-minute candle to create, or not get in on that candle, but if that closes a weak bearish candle, what that's going to do is create a minor resistance within the 30-minute candle, which closes still a strong bullish candle. Then I would consider a buy as we begin to pop above the 30-minute. So what will be the previous 30-minute candle's high, clean traffic to the left, we made a clean move up, or clean move down, clean move up, clean move down, in anticipation that we could potentially create another clean move to the upside. So the 15's closed. It's not engulfing a 30 just yet. Still a very strong bullish candle. So we'll just wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes. I would say we want to remain above that level there, 196,872. So I'd probably want to see the candle close back weak bearish, create that minor resistance within the 30-minute on the 15, but above 196,872. Now the other catalyst, however, if this 15-minute is going to continue bullish just now, the current 15-minute candle, I'd want it in all honesty, I want it to close quite a strong candle. But if that's the case, because what that would suggest is we still have the momentum to the upside. If this 15-minute candle closed a very weak bullish candle, it would suggest exhaustion. If it closes a weak bearish candle, it suggests we've got some resistance. And if we were to continue bearish, we should respect that resistance. If we break that resistance, there is a high probability that we will continue to the next level of resistance. So you can sort of see, guys, how I'm gathering some different confidences within price action to look for my potential entry. Now, there's nothing wrong with later on in your own time rewinding and having a watch of what I've just said and just pick up on it. It makes sense why I want resistance and not a weak bullish 15-minute closure. So a bullish engulfing 30 would usually suffice, but if this candle closes a very weak bullish on a 15, I'd likely just sit out and wait for a pause. So wait and see, guys. But that's GJ for the time being. Otherwise, sells from higher up. It does just reject that 4-hour resistance. I'm going to be looking for my catalyst to sell it back down towards the current daily candles low. Could just pull up to grab some more liquidity. Again, as much as I would like to buy it upon continuation, I mean, if I learned anything yesterday, it was just wait for price to get to your levels, because yesterday pretty much sold into support. So don't really want to be buying into resistance. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. So we'll see where this candle closes on the M30. Now, if this closed with a long wick to the downside, or a reasonably long wick, and closed at current level, I would look for a buy on the next candle. So that is a GJ. Sorry, guys. Just waking up my terminal in case. 12.5 minutes remaining. Hopefully that analysis did make sense. Do hit the like button, let me know. And let's take a look at gold, guys. Let's take a look at the gold. My favorite instrument to trade across any asset class really is the gold. So once again, let's start on the higher time frame, starting the weekly. Still based off the previous at this stage, which was the strong bullish candle, and look where we've pulled back to, guys. So you learned this on this stream, didn't you? What did I say about the 50%? If we pop down to it, as long as we remain above it, form support above it, that could be the lowest point of the current weekly candle before we head back up. Doesn't necessarily mean it is, but it could be. And look what it's doing so far. So you learn a hell of a lot from my streams, guys. So do make sure to join on the regular. Do spread the love, let others know I'm here educating for free on the daily on these streams. So current weekly, we are now approaching a high yet again. Could be options above it. Let's just see what we've got on the daily time frame. So structurally on the daily, we do remain bullish, and we have strong closure on the previous daily candle, which would normally suggest when we have a high low high high, that if we were to continue and break our own high yet again, that we should continue to the upside. However, we are at the most recent resistance formed on the daily time frame, which lines up with support here to the left hand side. So may not be as simple as just smashing through that 2360 level. It is a psychological round number as well. That price is rejected so far. So bullish counter probability the upside. Onto the 4-hour, that would also suggest that it could be potential options below that previous candle's low, or it is, depending on what broker you're using on forex.com, this candle is about to close on a window. I'm pretty sure it's closed already. So 4-hour anyway is exhausting. This previous support here to the left hand side. I'll mark in levels on the M30. So we are bullish though in structure, obviously. Yeah, let's go down to the 30-minute. I think it'll give us a clearer picture. All right. So we've got resistance at this point here to the left. We've got support at the current daily candles low. Now, what I would be inclined to do is, because below that level, we're running straight to another support about 10 pips below it, which is pretty evident on the 15-minute time frame as well. So what I am likely to do is just drag this down. Now, I know it's not the lowest point of the 15 minutes support. It's the lowest point of the 30, and my catalyst for entry is generally 30 minutes. So what I like to see then, if that's to be the case, is price pop down to that level. And if it closes below in a 30, then what we're likely going to be doing is tapping into that 15-minute support, bouncing off the resistance. So retesting resistance, rejecting it, starting to pop back below the 15-minute support here to the left. And then we're likely going to head back down towards that 23.48 sort of level. So I would look for the sells below 23.53.80 roughly. Now as for buys, I kind of want to drag this up because that is the most recent support form within the current daily candle. Is the current daily candle's low. I mean, gold, had this candle not completely taken off there, gold could also be an option. You've got, all right, so the 30 looks good. It's bullish engulfing, but this is what I mean by the 15. It sort of looks like it could be exhausting. So if it was to close like so, what I really prefer to see is once again that minor resistance. So maybe the first 15-minute candle with the new M30 closing back a weak bearish candle. Then I would trust a buy as the next candle creates a higher low, higher high. But if this candle does close up near its high, there's a high probability it's going to retest the current daily high. Should be enough margin in that. Stop loss probably be, you'd have almost a 1-to-1. So it all depends when his candle closes, because what we've done is we've tapped into that support. So at least we've got that tap in. Had we not done so just yet, then this would, I still wonder whether it may be a pause and we still could come back down. But we've tapped in. Looks like we've got a catalyst forming just now. So could be potential buys on gold shortly. Further buy options above the daily candles high, current daily candles high. We've got some clean traffic to the left. We could just be building up a little bit, gathering a little bit more liquidity before we head back up, guys, on this current pullback. So for me, there'd be options above the current daily candles high as soon as you start closing above that resistance. So basically, it's like a pip below it, but same level basically. That's where I'd be looking to buy it. Upon continuation, you do have clean traffic to the left, and high probability at that point we could come up to 23.64 to 65 sort of level. So that is gold, guys. What are you guys thinking? Gold or GJ? Both look good. In all honesty, they both look, again, I'd rather GJ though. But it was a weak bearish candle just here. Or if it closes like this, then that's a liquidity candle as well, along with the downside closing out its high. The candle will be likely just to pop up. The hourly will also be closing. And look at that. So we're closing back above the support. So there's quite a lot of reason to look for entries shortly, guys, on potentially both GJ and gold. So one option on gold would be the limit order. Back of the high of that bearish candle. You anticipate new candles likely to make a lower wick. It could pull back, tap into that level, and then begin to flip. So that is one option, guys. So I'm going to give you an array of options, and it's really up to you. I can tell you what I'm looking to enter on. But in the meantime, I'll quickly say g'day to the chat, and then I'll do GU and NAS after these candle closes if we're waiting while we wait. If we get an entry, I'll have to do it a bit later on. Carl F, good morning to you. Paulius, good to see you again. Archard, as always, brother. David, Luke, good day to you. Mr. Benny C, I hope you're well, brother. Franco, good morning to you, brother. I hope you have a pleasant day, by the way. And Doc, good morning to you as well. Tag team on both. I've done it before. When I call the signal, I mean, I've done it on a stream. I've done it when I used to call the signals in the old group. I had 3 winning trades going at the same time. All of them ended up in win. On GU, GJ, and gold. All 3. So the way GJ's pulling back would definitely not be an entry, in my opinion. If it does close as is, then what my rules would suggest is I need to wait for the following candle, M15, close bullish engulfing above the bearish candle's high, lower wick on a new 15, and then entry. Because it's still going to have a 30-minute closing bullish, so you still got confirmation of support, but it's just a weak support, so I'd rather wait for that added confluence of the 15-minute time frame. Gold is making a move. Looks like gold's going to leave the building without us. That would have been, if someone told me they're in that, I would say it's a pretty good entry using intuition, but obviously it happened way too early. I was not focused on that. Alright guys, so it's likely going to be GJ. Yeah, gold is shooting for the stars right now. Damn it. That's all good. Alright, I am GJ908. See what GJ closes in 2 minutes. RS. GJ seems safer, especially considering major news coming up today. Yeah, it's still far off though. Robin, good day to you. Yeah, but if GJ closes like this, then there's no entry for me. It's not a strong enough confirmation. Happy. Explained by herself. Just giving my synopsis on things, my friend. You need to decide for yourself. I'm waiting on GJ to close above this horizontal for a potential buy, but it's rejecting it right now, so there's nothing unless it pops up in the next 45 seconds. So would it be gold again? I don't feel this has made the move though. This is pretty much the move. I don't want it to close too far above. Buying it above the high, the issue is stop loss is going to be wide. You don't have not enough margin, so probably best to wait for it to actually close above. GJ is not closing in the right fashion. Now, gold, what is the high of that bearish candle? Well, irrespective of it, it would be invalid now because it's flipping. Yeah, it's just one of those ones, guys. It could go now. I'm not going to buy it because I want it to create more of a low wick. If it breaks the high, then a limit order, in my opinion, is invalid. Yeah. What you can do about that? Would have been about, once you account for spread, about 27, 28 pip stop loss. Targeting 10 pips. Not for me. So now GJ, I need to wait. And it could just go. So Yeah, I mean, there is not much you can do because this is completely rule-based trading for me, and it's no emotion. This in my course, I'd be, I mean, there's a few in here who know it. Dot, you know it. You've gone through that section yet. Ben, Franco, Archer, you guys will know. That candle closure, that bearish candle closure. If I was to be true to my own rules, the course that I made myself, I need to simply wait for this candle to close. That's through just my own testing and time on the charts. That is the probable move. However, it could just make the move right now. But do I get FOMO? Do I want to jump in? No, not one bit. And that's called emotionless trading. So it can go, that's fine. Not worried, not stressed at all. Same as gold. So now I need gold to really pop up to this resistance. See if it respects it or rejects it. Or sorry, respects it or pops above it. If it does respect it, we could be on for potential sells at some point. If it does pop above it, then we would be looking at what buy options we may have. Robbie, I'm really good, my friend. I hope you're well. As always, good to see you and have you in the chat. Caspero, good day to you. As always, good to see you. Expecting range price action for most pairs till CPI. Could well do. Could well do. But I mean, that could have almost been an option. That was a very impulsive option. Just there. But yeah, right now, I mean, it's just, at least it's moving quite cleanly between a range. I mean, there's a few things that I've just seen just here. Interruption play. Would it be valid? Probably not. Probably hasn't closed high enough. Yeah. Just have to wait. Benny C, EU presenting a potential option if we could get a tap in on the next lower wick before continuation. I think buys buffer high look really good. You've got a catalyst, so it's closed well above the bodies that counts here to the left. It's pulled back to create slower wick. If it breaks again, what's the traffic like to the left? Where are we at? It's clean traffic. Wow. Clear as mud to the left. Yeah, it could almost be an EU buys just now. Cheeky little 1-to-1, about a 3 pip stop loss below the current candle's low, targeting 3-4 pips. There you go, day done. How's that? Lau, good morning to you. How many times has GJ tagged and dragged? Oh, mate. Plenty. And I am so wary of it. That's why I wait for confirmations. I got sick of it. I got sick of being caught in tag and drag trades. So I'm waiting for GJ or EJ on 4 hour. Gave me intraday sells. It's going to dump. It's at oversold. Coming to strong 4 hour overbought, I think you mean. Supply level. Yeah, doesn't mean it has to dump, but it is a potential level. Could definitely dump from. Alright, it's the GJ. Not fussed by this. This is alright. We get a little limit order buy. Back at the low of that, back at the high of the bearish candle. That's now what I'm focused on. So this is when I tune into the 15-minute, and that becomes my that becomes my trigger. So I still have a 30-minute candle closing back bullish. Yes, it's a weak bullish candle, but it still did close back bullish. What we are trying to do right now is, well, we are engulfing that previous bearish candle, popping above that resistance. So if we close significantly above it, then I would look to place a buy limit order back all over that bearish candle in anticipation within the 30-minute and obviously a new 15-minute. Price is going to make a bit of a pullback, tap into that level and bounce off it, close the M30 back, a strong bullish candle. But that will require in the next 8.5 minutes for this candle to close a strong bullish candle, probably about 5 pips above the bearish candle's high, if it was to be valid. So it'll really have to close basically right at the highest point it's at just now, the wick, if that was to be valid. Otherwise, still could get an option, but it may be a continuation buy option above the high. Just depends. I don't want this candle to close as is, pull back. That just puts me off even more, to be honest. So I'm just going to be waiting now. It's just under 8 minutes. Reckon I can knock off GU quickly. All right, let me quickly do GU. So weekly, I would call this a strong bullish candle. It's already engulfing higher low, higher high to the previous. Still below its previous support. We have rejected multiple times from that level, so interesting to see if we finally begin to pop back above it. And the first catalyst to suggest we may do so, the daily. Previous daily closed strong bullish, long low wick into the range below, and needs to close back above it. Still, obviously, we've got some more support here to the left, which could act as resistance. Should not need to break our own low, so we have a lower high, high low, high high to the previous, which if we were to continue bullish, we should not need to break it. We are technically bearish in structure though, but we have daily candle probabilities on our side along with the weekly candle. All our structure is bullish, popping above a resistance here, which is pretty good. So I'm just going to mark in most recent support and resistance. I've got this to the upside. It could be a bit like GJ where you don't have all that great deal of margin. Potentially buy it above the high. Now I want to drag this down a little bit. All right, can we adjust this? No. It's a tricky one, GU as well, because you just don't seem to have the margin above the high. All right, so GU, to be honest, right now I'd rather let it pull up, retest that 4-hour resistance. If it rejects, look for a bit of structure to form, lower highs, lower lows, and then potentially sell it from that 4-hour resistance. If we begin to pop above it, then what we're likely going to do, that's a bullish candle wick, so I'm not so concerned by it, and we may continue to the upside. So I'll be looking for buys above resistance, sells below it, sells below. And I feel if we begin to break the current daily candles low and the support formed just to the left of that, then there's going to be some nice sell options. Potentially back down to this support, which lines up with previous resistance down to 125.70 flat sort of level. So I'll be looking for buys above the support, sells below it. Sorry, it's a sell one. And buys above that level. So right now it's kind of in the middle of this range. Don't think there's going to be much option to sell it if it pops below this most recent support, because running into another support just to the left. So I'd rather just come back down and see how we form 125.80, that sort of level. That is GU. Now back to GJ. Gbpjpy, do you trade GU and EU2 or strictly gold and GJ? I don't really trade them. It's pretty much gold and GJ. But I do have a look, especially GU. I do keep an eye on EU for other reasons, but yeah, I'm happy to analyze them. Closing in on 1,000 subs, guys. So 950 last time I checked. Been a really fast climb. I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest. undecided as to what will be the giveaway for the 1,000 sub show. But oh yeah, I'll come up with some ideas. Alright, so GJ, I need to wait 3.5 minutes and then we could have a limit order buy. And a good thing is still be getting triggered in above that level that I wanted, the 30 minutes close above. So I don't mind getting triggered in on a pullback within the M30 in anticipation it's gonna still close a strong bullish candle. But if this makes the move in the next 2.5 minutes or so to the upside, then it's just similar to gold. There is nothing you can do. Just need to wait. Gold rejecting just now. I wanted to close around that level just there. For it to be significantly engulfing. So watch this act as a ceiling right now and this thing drop back. Go on, JJ. Pop up a little bit for us. Well, it's not going to be right now, Conspiro, because this is pulling back, but would have been set the high of the bearish candle. So it's not valid. It's closing not strong enough in my opinion, but well, obviously it doesn't need to wick back far, just tap into that level, so it pop up a little bit in the end there. Yeah, so that's your risky option just now, limit order. But I'm inclined to wait. It didn't tick the box, so I'm just gonna patiently wait. Gold, 15 minutes rejected. Gold looks likely just to chop about now. GJ. All right, so let me look at NAS. So no order on GJ, just didn't tick the box. And that's trading, guys. I mentioned it to on a call this morning my time, a session, that sometimes trading gonna be a plan. It's gonna get close to ticking the box, and then something just goes out the door in the last minute and you don't get your trade. You need to be aware that if it's not doesn't tick the box, you need to step away, and don't just sit there and, all right, because the last one didn't eventuate, well, I'm going to take this instead because it makes sense. It's going to come down, for instance, so I'm going to sell it either way. You need to wait patiently for it to set up again, reassess, and wait for it to perform as to what you want it to do in order to take a trade. All right, so NAS on a weekly, strong bullish candle, high low to previous. Once again, looking for potential levels for it to pull back to on the Monday time frames before it forms support, heads up. But similar to GU, it's at a very strong level, or even goal. Very strong level here to the left hand side. That is significant resistance. So for me, that would, that it makes it difficult to buy it at this level yet again. Doesn't mean it can't cut through it, but I'd rather let it do so, show me it, and maybe create that higher high, low strong bullish. So what I'm going to do is marking the low of the current daily. So seeing we have a high low higher high, if we were to continue bullish, then what we really should not need to do is break the current daily candles low. Would have obviously formed support at that level. The 4 hour, so we can see we're already struggling at the previous level of resistance, and it's where do you mark this thing in? As soon as you break one level, you're running straight into the next. So it's a tricky one. It really is. I mean, you can really just adjust this all the way up. It's might just do that. All right, so that's the resistance. This is the support formed in the current daily candle. It is in a heavy uptrend, guys, and just because it's at a resistance doesn't mean I sell it on the first break of it, the break of the support. What I prefer to see in this case is, because the current weekly is forming so strong to the upside, let it pull back, very clean move through this support, because right now we're just chopping about, respecting it. Very clean move down. Maybe you may even tap into that most recent resistance here to the left that we've broken out, then pull back, create a lower high. That's when I start to trust the sells on the second impulse, the second wave down, not the first move down. I'd rather let it show me that it's ready to make a move at low, create a clean move, pull back, form that resistance to sell it. That is, in my opinion, a much higher probability sell option. Aside from that, if it does drop, then I'll be looking for my catalyst of support to form around the 18.29 sort of level. Above that previous resistance here to the left. If price does do so, I think there is a high probability it will eventually continue to the upside. So be looking for buys above. Buys above the high, similar to, I think, what I mentioned on GU. Let it create a clean move up through all the crap to the left, even pop above that resistance, preferably form a support, pull back to it, and then look for your potential buy. GJ is flipping as we speak, so it looks like that little limit order entry could be working, but again, not in it, because just did not tick the box, did not close sufficiently high enough above. So just back to NAS quickly. Yeah, so that's what I want to see. Let it cut through, create a clean move up, then pull back. It may even do something like this, where it pops up just now, retest basically high that resistance I've got marked in, then pulls back, and then you're playing within clean candles within this area. So that is NAS. Not looking great. You need to let it create the move. It could just take its time due to CPI to come. So just trade safe if you are trading NAS. Be very wary of all the news about today. right, if this closes weak bearish, M30, is that going to close? Another bullish candle. There could be some options potentially for a buy. Coming closer to London Open. If I was in GJ, where would TP be? Well, for me, standard is starts to skew around 10. And then obviously the current daily high would be the main target. So there's not that much margin, to be honest. Yesterday, my GJ trade got in here, secured a fair chunk of it by about 11 or so pips. Had a runner going and I was trailing a stop loss, trailed it to below this support. I had about 30 pips at one point, trailed it to below that level there, news flung down, took out my stop. Surprisingly, I didn't really get slipped, only a tiny bit on the runner, so still end up securing like 18 or something on the second smaller position, and then obviously ripped to the upside and it's not looked back, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, it was a good return. Ended up being a good day. Did call out in the Discord, I did mention it, looking at GJ buys, anyone watching it. And a few of you did take it. A few were taking gold at the same time. The sells were playing out. So if you're not yet joined, do join the free Discord, guys. I will be live for NY for Discord members only. I'll send a link to Discord in the chat. The Nightbot may have mentioned it before, but if not, here it is anyway. So join it, guys. It is for free. There is over, and it was good to see quite a lot of chat last night. I was happy last night my time, yesterday for you guys. There is at present about 113 members. So do join it, guys. Do interact, do send in charts and analysis and get feedback of your own trades. It is the best way to level up. If honestly, you ask the guys that I know, that I've known for quite a few years in trading, they will say that's pretty much where I became, you know, competent and a consistent trader, because I was sending in my analysis and trades and charts every single day. It's the best way to learn. So don't be shy. I do encourage you all to send in charts. Even if it's a bad trade, ask what our opinion of the trade was. Why do I think it was a bad trade? Why do some of the other guys think it was a bad trade? We're not gonna go ape shit. Yeah, we want you guys to progress and learn. So nothing wrong with getting some feedback. All right, GJ rejecting, so likely not going to be the buy option. This is trading, guys. Sometimes it can be bloody boring when the charts aren't really up to much. What have you guys got for me? Is anyone currently in any trades? Dude, let me know. Send me a chart or something. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk shit about my day, which was quite productive yet again. As surprising it may sound. No, I'm a very efficient guy when it comes to managing time. Just wish there were more hours of a day. So I've been to the gym. I uploaded another educational video which I recorded today for the VIP, and that was to do with consolidation and what I like to see when prices consolidate. So to those who do join the VIP, you've got already quite a few videos in there. I'm going to continue to upload and create more educational videos for it. So it's part of the benefit you will get. Thomas, waiting for entry? Exactly. Waiting can be boring waiting, but it's our responsibility to be aware that price action and the charts in general, price isn't at a level, or price action isn't giving us what we want to see. We need to be wary of that and just wait patiently. Gold popping back up. GJ essentially closing. Let's see how this closes. Doesn't look great. The 30 looks quite ugly. 30 looks... Ugh, I don't like these long wicks. Sulman. Oh, Sulim. Sorry. GJ buying or selling. Right now it's a little bit indecisive. Spirit looking for sells in GU from 126 resistance. Yep. Yeah, I like that. And possibly GJ by 1 hour close, strong, bullish. Yeah, that's also a good potential option. I mean, GJ is not looking that bad now for a potential buy in a falling candle. Just depends how strong this candle closes. It could be almost buy options on the next candle if it breaks the high of this bearish candle. But to be honest, I'd want it to pull up a bit now. I don't want it to close like this, and to me it's just a little bit too strong. If that's the case, I'd rather wait for that potential pause option buy limit. So wait and see in 30 seconds. Ben's intake EU buy, wanted it to tap into resistance, potentially turn support, push straight up, and now it looks like it's going back in the range. Fair enough, mate. Well done for sticking to your rules. You think you're going to wait back 8 PM open, sells back down to 108, 131, could be an option, not presenting itself yet. Sounds like a pretty good plan, my friend. So GJ. 30-minute is also closing. I'd want to see a bit of a lower wick, and then it could be an early entry above the bullish bearish candle's high. It's a little bit indecisive right now. It's a bit choppy. I wouldn't be looking to take it for breaks on this candle. Let me take a look. Where you been? Is that X? Is that not supposed to be there? Send in a link, man. You can send in a link. You got the spanner tool. You can send in links. All right. No, it's still saying access denied. Not sure what's going on there, my friend. Maybe try sending the code in once again. All right, GJ is just not, to me, it's a bit of a mess right now. It doesn't look great. It's a trickle, a slow trickle up. Nothing giving me any confidence, put it this way. It's nothing clear cut. So what I'm likely to do now is wait to see how this candle closes. If it closes bullish engulfing, I may look for a buy limit on the 15. You are a spammer at all? I don't think so, mate. From what I know of you, I know a fair few tools, and I don't think you're one of them. So, why is it not working? Is it something to do with that X? Oh man, what's going on? Oh, let me. Oh, Forex factor. Who the hell is that? Let's give this another crack. Nah. I don't know what's going on. Franco had the same thing the other week. Sexy? No worries, man. You take care. Best of luck to you and your old lady as well, my friend. Yeah, it could be that. Conspiro could be right, Ben, but I'm sure you've been onto that. Gold's indecisive as well at the moment. It's pulled back, pulled up right in the middle of this range. Yeah, it's a weak bullish candle, but there's no margin to support. Plus, there's no upper wick, so there's no way I would have looked to take that trade. And GJ, I'm just gonna wait. Numbers are pretty disappointing on stream. I know there's a lot of flickers and they're just looking for trades. I can understand. But if you want to learn a method that you can sustain throughout, you know, a long period of time, guarantee you trading off the 30 and using 15 as confluence, and even sometimes the 5, you'll be a lot more profitable than just trading up the 5 minute, because the majority of people aren't going to understand it and they're just going to get wrecked, completely wrecked. So it's unfortunate, but eventually these people will realize that it's just not profitable, not a good way of making a regular return. And at that point, hopefully they'll switch over, but it can be frustrating game at times, to be honest. I could call heaps of trades. I could call probably 5 trades per stream. I would call a sell on GJ just then. Thank you, GU, sorry, thank you for this up. Based off a candle, closing back, bearish engulfing. But is it the right thing to do? No. Because it's still essentially in the middle of nowhere. You've got support just here. So yes, it can make move down, but on this stream, we hunt quality entries. We hunt entries that we know if we take on our own 8+ times out of 10, it's likely going to be a winning trade. That's plain and simple. And we'll go through our times, tough times. We had first loss on stream for how long? For 3 weeks or so. We had about 12, it was a 12 trade winning streak going prior to that. Yes, I don't trade as much, but when I trade, God, mark my word, am I comfortable? Am I confident? You guys see me. Even yesterday in drawdown, managing it was emotionless, completely emotionless. End up being a tiny loss. About 2 hours later, an hour and a half or something later, sent in the analysis, did the MY update call for the Discord, was doing the GJ update, and GJ was presenting. Sent in the analysis, sent in a chart, told the guys I was looking at potentially buying GJ. Made the move, ended up in more than 1% profit a day. So make of that what you will. You don't need to trade 3-5 times a day. Sometimes you don't even need to trade. We trade quality, not quantity, because mark my words, for someone who trades 30 times a week or a fortnight, or let's say 50 times a month, they're exposing their account to a lot more risk. They need a really high win rate. Whereas for me, I may trade 15 times a month, but I know I'm going to win 12 to 13 of those more than likely. Not exposing my account to as much risk. And every win is going to outweigh any of the losses taken. Every single one. So you do the math. To me, I feel I'm probably a lot more profitable than the majority of those guys. It's just not sustainable over the long run. Trading it off the 5 minute, to me it's not anyway. Unless you're really comfortable and confident with it. I don't know. I just think there's too much data on the 5 minute. You're going to get confused. You're going to get caught out. And then you're going to ask yourself why. And then you're going to look at the higher time frame and hang on, that's why. Rant over. Back to the chat. Alright, yeah, got you this time, Ben. Alright, so what were you saying up higher? I think I'm gonna wait 8 AM open, so it's back down to, yeah, I think that could be a good chance. The issue is this support, but if you're trading it, maybe if you're trading it off the hourly. Let's have a look at it again. And the fickle nature of the average YouTube watcher, it's not you guys are right, but as soon as the next guy takes a loss, they're going to switch back over here, see what's up, see me take a win or two, start watching me for 2-3 days. If I take a loss or I don't trade for 2-3 days, they're going to go flick over to somewhere else and watch them take a win, get sucked in. Maybe they're good traders, I don't know, but still, that's just how it works on YouTube. So that's why I am considering moving across to TikTok, doing some TikTok streams, because I think there's a lot more demand for it across there from what I've seen. Salts, please don't make me install TikTok. I've avoided it so far. Dot, all good. I'll be on again today, so if you are about, you're more than welcome to hop on it. No, I'd like to dual stream, but I've got to work out how to do it properly. I need a stream key apparently with TikTok. We need to apply for it. Look at that. I mean, for me, it's trash. I can't see any clear entry, even on the 5-minute. I mean, it's just consolidating. The only entry is here. Literally the only entry. GJ rejecting, coming back down, so remove that now. And GJ is not clean as well. Could there be sell limit options at London Open? Got this 15-minute support. It's just clutching at straws, if I'm to be honest. Tony, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well, brother. See the city skyline in the back there? Broadcasting from living room, my penthouse here in Melbourne, overlooking the city, living the Forex life. Got Lambo parked underground in the car park, in the underground car park. Quite the opposite, guys. Quite the opposite. That's the next one, stream from Lambo. Streaming, to be honest, I'm streaming from my mum's house in my room with the Nissan Pathfinder and Honda CR-V. Top of the range though, but it's not a new one. So it's parked out the front on the street. That's the reality. That's the reality, guys. I do own a house, but it's not here. So I'm not paying to rent a property here or buy it. It's too expensive. It's way too expensive. So I've got elderly parents, so I help take care. Although my old lady doesn't need anyone to help take care. She still works every day. The family business. Glad someone enjoys it. So what kind of trader are you if you don't have fake rented Lambo? Yeah, I know. I am fake. I am fake because I'm real. That's it. If you're real, you're fake these days. I don't know. Maybe I just have different desires and that from life. Different goals. Lambo is definitely not one of those. Like I mentioned before, I'd break it anyway. My massive shoulders will not fit in. I weigh all of what, about 65 kilos, and probably 63 of those kilos are in both either side on the shoulders. No, I'm just kidding. Favor? Is it rented? Who knows? I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, I was just joking. Zolt would not buy a Lambo even, nor would I, in all honesty. I wouldn't, no way would I bother with a Lambo. I hate small sporty cars, I really don't like it. I like to be up high. I've said it so many times. I'd rather a big car, big pickup truck or SUV or some shit. I don't know, I just don't like small cars. Samil, live your life. We all have different ambitions and wants. That's it. Exactly. Exactly right. But for me, Lambos and all that sort of jazz is not one of them. My opinion on GU, so I went over it before. Right now it's just in the middle of this range between 4-hour resistance and support. So I'd want it to come back down to the support to look for potential buys, but I wouldn't want it to chop about now because it makes it difficult to trade. If it does close as is just now, you're just not gonna have the margin. I mean, you've got a nice catalyst, 15-minute engulfing. Do you have the margin to take it back up towards the high? That's the thing, you don't. But it could be an early entry for the London Open. This, if you had the margin, would be the perfect catalyst. If this closed bullish engulfing, closing the M30, bullish with a long wick into the downside, even better if it actually tapped into this support, only to reject it. The fact of the matter is you've got like 5 pips until the resistance on that bearish candle. So if you want to take an early entry, that could possibly be it. But that, for me, is a really good catalyst. Had this formed at the support, bullish engulfing 15-minute, closing the M30 with a long wick to the downside, only to close back bullish near its high. Mark my words, if that happened on gold GJ. May not necessarily need a low wick, I would prefer it. And then entry on the following candles it breaks. Otherwise, GE, I'll just wait for it to pull up to 126.6 roughly. 126.10 for rejection to sell it, buys above it. So thank you for your question. Conspira, GJ looking like it's about to flip on 30. Yeah, not interested in that though. Favor. UCAD. Well, it's at a pretty strong support. Weekly, bit of a mess. Falling bearish. Not yet broken low the previous. Daily is also a mess. It is actually bullish in structure, but we have previous daily closing bearish engulfing. Current candle likely continue bearish if it breaks the low of that previous candle. 4 hours approaching at support, so it's a bit of a it's at a tricky level. It's opposite to GU. It's at support. Structure wise, the 4 hour is bearish, so the bias is bearish, but it's just the level it's at. I'd rather, if I was to look for sells below support, I'd want it to close below 1.3624. Otherwise, let it come down to that level, form a series of high lows, higher highs, a sequence of high lows, higher highs, try to correlate it with maybe a 4 hour candle closing back bullish, and then look to enter this new 4 hour breaks the high of the previous bullish candle. That could be an entry. Otherwise, I'd just be looking to see where potentially price could pull back to within the current range. We've got a level here, a rejection of that level a little bit higher up, you could drag us up, and even the most recent resistance swing point for a sell. It's just a quick breakdown. Guys, I will be back in a few minutes. I need to do a few things quickly before London Open. Otherwise, I'm not going to have my dinner ready as well. So just give me 2 minutes and I'll be back. I'll be back ASAP. Alrighty guys, sorry about that. I am back. Just only hope gold will go down. Yeah, assume you're in a sell. Ian, good morning to you, my friend. So 4 minutes until London Open. There's not really much on offer just now, so we'll just wait and see. Vishal, good morning to you. Tricky price action. Gold is indecisive. GJ looks like it wants to come down, but it's just not trending. There is no clear direction at all. And again, it could be because of the news to come later on. Yeah, it's just is what it is right now. Smil, today we haven't taken any trades yet, hoping for some pips though. Yeah, look, again, we just wait patiently, wait for the right moment to enter. And if you were to wait all day on the charts, you're eventually going to get an entry, but I just don't want to be dictated by the charts. I trade for a certain period of time during the day, and if it eventuates, it eventuates. If not, so be it. Always another day. No point taking second best. So for there to be any option at the open, this candle has to close about 5+ pips below low of that previous bullish candle. Really below this support actually. Gold, there is 0 on gold right now. I mean, look at that. Like I said, yeah, the 5 minute, maybe you've got an entry or two along the way, but probably would have got burnt a few times along the way. So Vishal, streams are slowly increasing and you have a bright YouTube career. I guess in the last 3 days I've gained almost 100 subs. You've gained, yeah, it's growing very fast. To be honest, I was getting more on stream a couple of weeks back. I was up around 70 to 100 each day, 70 to 90. I think we got to 104 or 5. Oh, I'm counting on one particular stream. So there is a lot of competition lately. The viewers on the stream have been a bit less, but the subs keep going up. So it's all part of it. All right, so doesn't look like it's going to close significantly enough below this rate. It's about 2 pips below low, not even. So no entry once again. Oh, maybe not. Hang on, that dropped. It's about 4 pips. Yeah, not valid anyway if it breaks the low. This candle breaks the low of the previous. There is no valid entry. Otherwise, it could be a possible small. No, it's broken. Forget it. Forget it. No entry. Once again, yeah, good closure on the 30. It's just, it's not at a really good level. There is no margin. You've got about 5 pips, and wow, this is London Open at its best. Excuse my French, but London Open fuckery at its best. So up, down, all over shop. We just wait, guys. There is no rush. Gold right in the middle. So I've officially got no entries open, nor have I got an entry set, because nothing resembles anything that I'm familiar with right now. EU is flying before news. EU going back up. Oh, it is. Yeah, that looks good. That actually looks really good for a buy. Wow. Bullish engulfing. It's got that low wick. It's a decent low wick. That would be a really nice option. Really nice option. Are you continuing on its merry way? So GU, you've got that 15-minute catalyst, and look at it now. So dude, again, you learn shit. You learn so much on these streams if you're paying attention. What did I say before? If that was gold or GJ and I had that sort of catalyst close to the M30 as a do for long wick to downside up near its high, I would look to take that every single day of the week on GJ or gold, because GJ and gold, you're likely going to have the margin, especially gold. So trust me, guys. Yes, it's well and good to get a signal and to take a winning trade together, but if you guys can learn from these streams, from the content that I provide on the weekly, and learn to walk away and fish for yourself, you're going to be in such a better position moving forward. Because what happens if, for whatever reason, I can't stream, or what, some of streamers decide they don't want to do it anymore, and you guys haven't bothered to learn anything, you're going to be up the shit. So I always strongly advise, take notes, pay attention. Some of the guys that I coach watch the stream in full every single day, and take note of that. I'll point it out right now. So this is the 30-minute closure. Actually change that to green. Bring in zoom. This is the 30-minute closure. That's the wick of that candle. These are the two candles within it, the bullish candle and the bearish candle. Bullish engulfing, that bearish, strong bearish candle. Let's close the M30 like so. New candle, low wick, bit of low wick. Entry every single day of the week. If you get that catalyst forming on GJ or gold or whatever pair you trade, and even more so if it's at a level of support further down, for instance this level here, take that trade every single day of the week. Don't even, it's, make it happen, make it robotic. Don't even think about it. It's valid. Yes, take it. Don't have to think about it. 30 entries I love. I just don't have any of that on GJ, nor do I have it on gold right now. And if gold rips, so be it. Spiro, GJ is decisive. It is, and gold is just on a moonshot, and Props to whoever's in this, but it's not a valid entry for me. It's coming from consolidation. You've got no catalyst prior to it. There is no entry. Well, not much you can do, just let it do its thing. Plain and simple. This is all, this area is liquidity being built into the market. When we have enough of that liquidity, eventually price is going to make another move. Sometimes it's going to make the move where it gives us the opportunity to get involved. Sometimes it's going to make a move from the middle of the consolidation, the middle of the range. Create a big move to the upside, goes way above, or make the move within that candle itself, and it's not going to give us the option. But how many times have you seen it do this? Where it pops up, you're getting FOMO, you think, oh shit, it's breaking, enter. You just take an entry here. And then you're sitting there, sweating it, twiddling your fingers, getting all anxious and nervy. And all of a sudden, gold decides it wants to do this. Pulls all the way back down, ends up closing back in the range. You're still holding on in hope. Stop loss below the entry candle, whatever it is. Next candle, next M30, continues all the way back down in support, and you've just taken a full loss because you could not control your anxiety and your emotions when it comes to trading. And be honest, how many times have you guys done it? I've done it. I'm not gonna lie, I've done it. Not for a long time, but I used to do it. I used to do all that sort of stupid shit when I was an unprofitable trader. I think we've all done it. So that is why we don't react on our emotions. We just simply have the plan. We know how we want to get involved, at what levels, and we just sit back and wait. That is as simple as that, guys. It's only been there plenty of times, so I'm glad someone's admitted it, because I know I'm not the only one. Are you pulling back? Has no need to pull back. I would not feel comfortable in this. Not anymore. Should have just continued to the upside. Tony lines, thankfully not these days, but plenty in the past. Yeah, me too. We were probably the exact same, man. Spirit plenty of times is rookie number, bro. I've been there too many times. I think we all have in the past at some point in our trading. I had a conversation on a coaching session today about how we just need to wait. We need a stronger confirmation is to wait. When price is just been consolidating and it takes a moonshot, that's fine, because what this means is at least it's coming through that. So right now, this is Perfect. What we wanted to do is create a clean move, maybe even tap into this level, pull back, clean move back down, then you play within a new range and a clean range. Then the buys from support become, in my opinion, a high probability moving forward. You're looking for price to pull back, create that high low, respect that previous level of resistance, now your buy options. On the flip side, if it pulls back, forms support at previous level and begins to drop below it, there could be options to sell it back down yet again. Or it could just come back down, form an equal low, high low, and you could buy it once again from lower down. Simple. Yeah, so that's what I think of it now, Gbpjpy. Exactly what I think of it now. I wanted to make a clean move up now, not wick all the way back. This is the last thing I wanted to do is pull the way back, leave a long wick to the upside. That is very off-putting, really off-putting. So right now, the fact of the matter is, the move's been made within this candle. There's not much I can do with it. But wait for something to set up again. Same as GJ, nothing much I can do with it just now. Just need to wait for it preferably to come back down to 196.60, 650, that sort of level. And look for my catalyst swing price action and potentially buy it. Smil, yeah, I'm fully aware it's moving. Yeah, Franco, so the majors are pushing back down and gold is obviously going up, so all the majors are coming back down. And this is ugly on GU, but it made the move. So the analysis is 100% spot on. What level did I say it could tap in and reject? This resistance. Why did I say I wouldn't probably take it? Because there's not enough margin. If it was gold or GJ, there likely would be enough margin, especially gold. So mark my words. And I'm sure you'd be the same, brother. I'm sure you'd take it too if you had the margin. That is a perfect entry. One of my favorite ways to get involved in a trade. Yep, you know it, Franco. You know 100%. Engulfing, 15-minute, closing to 30. Long wick downside, liquidity candle. Preferably, it would be nice if it did come back down into that support. Could argue it's pulled up at this consolidation area here, grab a little bit more liquidity. Your candle breaks, should just head up, and that's what it's done. Now it's pulling back because it's retested the high and it is currently rejecting. And GJ is, there is just no level to look for that sell right now. You don't have any margin whatsoever. So we're just sitting, holding tight and waiting. Just got the nasty shock on my son's school bill. This is the reality. The reality of a trader. You trade to pay your bills. And why funded accounts are beneficial to people who don't have the capital is obviously you get access to the capital as long as you're a competent trader. Guys, who's around this evening for NY? If you are, join the Discord. Link is down below in the description for free. And hop on the NY call. Say good day, have a chat, ask me questions. Alright, so the 15 is closed. Closed strong bullish. There is no entry for me. It's made way too big of a push within the first 15-minute candle. So I just need to wait for it to set up again. Plain and simple. Let's do analysis on Bitcoin, guys. Let's see if we can plan something and just see how it goes. All right, so weekly, strong bearish. Previous weekly is a strong bearish candle. Current candle still, it's an inside bar candle. It's trading within the high and low of the previous. It is forming weak bullish, but currently pulling back a bit. If we break the low of the previous candle, we're likely going to head back further, but we are trading within the wick of that bullish candle to the left hand side. So it could, in that case, pull up at any point above 56.50 roughly, by the looks of it. Daily, the structure on the daily is technically bullish as well. That is the last significant higher low formed is the origin of the impulse to the uptrend to the upside, the impulse to the upside. So therefore, as long as we remain above 50 point, well, we're just running down 50k, we're technically going to be bullish on the daily time frame. We are, however, if you were to use a horizontal, a trend line, you can see we're forming a series of lower highs, lower lows, and I know this is not technically the correct way to do so. You can say breaking out of that now, but what we are essentially doing is forming lower highs. Yet to form a lower low, now create a higher low. So now if we do begin to pop above, we've got resistance around that. I'm just going to mark in well, the most recent resistance. We're running straight to another resistance. But if we start to form a support above 63.50 roughly, there could be options for it to continue to the upside. I'll just mark in most recent support and the support below it for a potential target below the current support. So the daily is bullish, kind of probabilities slightly to the downside. 4 hour, just drag that needing it up a bit. Yeah, the 4 hours, wow, that's a really messy area to the upside. So I'll just leave it for current level, and what we're doing right now is just really trading within a range on the 4 hour between a 63 sort of K, 63.40 to 60,050 sort of level. Structure wise, it's still bearish. We have pulled up to that resistance. That is the highest point of, that's the origin of the last significant lower high, lower low, lower high, sorry, last significant lower high. That is the lowest point of the swing to the downside. So we look to the left of that, and the last two are more consecutive counter pullbacks just here. We need to close above it to flip the structure. So technically anything below it is bearish. With creating equal highs slash lower highs, trying to pull up, create a higher low just now. As long as we respect 63.50, I think there's a good chance that the price will continue to the downside. If it does pull back, you're looking for rejection of that level. 30-minute, I'd also say it's bearish. That's the origin of the swing to the downside. It's the lowest point mark got to. Anything in between is technically bearish in structure. What we've done on 30-minute time frame, we're basically just consolidating, and I would say as long as we remain below that consolidation, we're likely to head back down. But it is bloody choppy. It's disgusting traffic on BTC. So in this case, I'd rather it create a move, pull back, form resistance to sell it, or create a move down, pull back, create a series of high lows, high highs, and then potentially buy it. So it may pop back above this support as your option to buy it. However, what it could do prior to that is tap into the low of the range to grab some more liquidity and then consolidate between 60 61k roughly, 61.12 and 60.80, and then start to pop back above that support, and then there possibly could be buy options from lower down. I'd be selling it from, if price just pulls up to 63k and rejects, I'd be looking for my signals in price action to sell it back down. Could be a cheeky buy above. Yeah, I wouldn't bother. I'd just be waiting to sell it. I'd be waiting for it to create clear move. It's just heavy consolidation right now, and I think Bitcoin does a lot of that. Makes a massive move, consolidates. Big move, consolidation. I feel with BTC, you're probably best to trade off a higher time frame, because it's going to clear up the clutter a lot. So you just means you need to wait for longer for your confirmation. So I'd probably be trading off the 4 hour, to be honest. Not a bad catalyst just now to buy it, but that wick is quite off-putting, and that resembles consolidation and resistance on the minor time frame. That is my 2 cents worth on Bitcoin. GJ coming back down. Very, very choppy price action when you're looking at on the lower time frames. It's all over the shop. Check gold. Okay. Yeah, I had a look at it before. It made a move within what will be likely to be the catalyst candle, 30-minute candle closing above. It's already made the move, so there's nothing I can do about it. I don't just set and forget, because I mentioned before how many times we set and forget, tags you in, drops all the way back. You got to be wary of where we're coming from. We're coming from right in the middle of the consolidation, right in the middle of the range. The amount of times this would have rejected in the past is, I mean, you'd probably be a millionaire for every dollar every time it rejected. You got $1 for every time it rejected. DJ Gaming, I buy positions in US oil. Can you please suggest target? Buy positions? Just depends where you're in from. I mean, most immediate target for me would be the most recent resistance formed at current daily high, 78.71. If it begins to break above that level, the next target is 78.83. Then I go to the higher time frame, and my next target would be 4 hour resistance, 79.20. 77.65. All right, so wow, you're in way low down. I hope you're trailing your stop loss. I'd be trailing my stop loss now to probably that level there, 78.24. Because if we were to continue bullish, then we should respect support, and we should not need to break it. So we should create a higher low, head back up, break the high, continue to see upside. So that's what I'd probably be doing. I'd probably just have a 4 hour target, so that 79.20 or 78.80 roughly, and trail a stop in profit. That's what I'd be doing. GJ melting, all good. It's coming back down to a level that we could potentially get a buy option from. So the focus is likely going to be on GJ. Brooks, ETH. Don't even have it here. Same as Bitcoin, likely. Weekly, also strong bearish. Daily structure, still technically bullish, but they're really at strong levels of support. Bearish candle probabilities. 4 hour strong support. Bearish structure. The bias is bearish. But once again, can't deny the level it's at. It's at a very strong level of support where it could potentially bounce off. It has done so multiple times here to the left, even on the way up over here. So it is a area of liquidity. As far as a catalyst for a buy from support, you got a good one on that previous candle. Thank you for the sub, but there's just no volume right now. I feel crypto is probably likely to trade with more volatility, more volume, obviously during the NY session. But I mean, that's a really good catalyst. If you trade off the 4 hour, it's pretty much a bullish engulfing, tapping into that support. Has a lower low and almost broke the high. So new candle has now broken the high. That would suggest a liquidity grab to me. Have you got resistance? So the entry for me probably would have been just here. So we've popped above a little bit of consolidation here. Having said that, it's very choppy to the left. You're at resistance. Again, I think it's best just trade out the higher time frame, just the 4 hour, and ignore some of this mess, because otherwise you're never going to get trades. So I would base off the 4 hour and say you could be in there, and that's your target for a scalp. 29.20 roughly. And if it rejects that level, I'd be looking to sell it back down. Bias is bearish. 30-minute is actually bullish, but the bias is to the downside. So right now, I've been waiting for price to pop up to 29.20. Look for rejection. A little bit of support form. Price begins to break below support, could head down and wait for your candles such as bearish engulfing candle. That is ETH. In the meantime, GJ, well, I think I have to wait for now the next 30-minute candle, see how it forms. Want it to tap in. All good, Ben. Hope you have a good day, brother. I'll chat to you later. DJ Gaming, pleasure. Conspirio. Don't fall. Oh, okay, because you're wanting to sell it from that resistance. It is what it is. Yep, that's just how it goes sometimes. Cape, what do you think on gold? I am in a buy position, 23.61.96. Yeah, well, that's your target, 23.64. You're looking good. That's your target. It has no need to break the low off the current candle. Has a high low, high high. If it was to continue bullish, it has no need to break low. So you should have stops to break even if it were me, because that's basically a low of the current candle. Your entry should now just rip and tap into 23.64 and then maybe reject. Footing GU. So we had a look at GU before. It's right in the middle of this range, the 4 hour range. So for me, whilst it's right in the middle and price action is indecisive, need to wait for it to pop up to 126.60 roughly, and look for rejection as potentially sell it, or back down to support around that 125.80, 820, 830, and look for your catalyst from price action and potentially buy it. Sells below that level. If price does begin to close below it, current daily has no need to break its own low, saying it has a high low, higher high to the previous, but pulls back to break its own low, breaks its support formed at that level, then I feel it is going to head back down further. Did mention before a catalyst to buy it at the open, and it made the move, but I said that there's just no margin. It's literally tapped into the level that I said it could reject, and it has since rejected. But bullish engulfing 15-minute close the M30 liquidity candle along with the downside entry would have been really nice above that candle sign. Hold it earlier, but yeah, it's not my pair, so not for me to take. Sharp, beautiful play. Body, all good. John, good to see you, my friend. How are you, mate? It's been a while. Alright, so GJ is closed, and it's good. We're at that level now. So, could we now get a catalyst on GJ to buy it? or is it going to continue to melt? What I want to see now for GJ, if I was to buy from this level, it's our level that I would be interested in buying from. What now I need to see, and it's just me playing ahead. This candle, this 15-minute candle closing, somewhat like so. Strong bullish candle. It's not going to be engulfing. It's, well, unlikely anyway. It has to really rip to engulf. Followed by that weak bearish pause at support, creating that minor resistance at support. So at that point, what we're looking like we've got is another lower low. If that's to be the case. So seeing we've got that resistance, albeit on the 15, still a resistance. We should, if we were to continue bearish, respect the high of it, head back down, create a lower low, maybe start trending yet again to the downside into the range below. However, seeing that is that barrier of resistance that we should be respecting. If we begin to pop above it on the following M30, we've got a few catalysts here, we've got a few confluences. So we've got the 30-minute closing bullish, 30-minute will close like so. Once again, this is free education, guys. 30 minutes going to close looking like so. There are two 15-minute candles within. This is the 30-minute candle. Quite a strong bullish candle. Then what I'm waiting for is lower to form a new candle. Price breaks above the high, which also breaks that 15-minute pause, the resistance. There's your entry. Take it back up. So that's what I'm waiting for. It doesn't have to close that high up, but that's what I want it to resemble. Something like that. And it's going to give me my 30-minute closing back bullish. If I get that, we could have an option. And again, it's just me as data prints. I'm just planning ahead yet again. Always going to be a step ahead, ready for if and when the time comes. All good. Good one. Nice to have you on the stream. All right, so gold. This is good. This is what I wanted to do. Clean move up, because now if we reject, we've got clean candles to play on the way back down. So now on gold, I know it's at a 4-hour resistance. Be fantastic if we see a little bit of minor support. Price begins to close below the minor support. Correlate with an M30 closing back bearish. There's your option to sell it. So not stressing it. It's made a move, not in that move. I'm just reassessing and planning ahead. Same as GJ, it's made a move down. Didn't trust any of that. Not stressing it. Waiting to, reassessing and planning ahead. Waiting for a next move. John, you couldn't? Surprised, mate, because I posted all over IG. So yeah, but better late than never. We took our first loss on stream yesterday for the last 3 or so weeks, and we've been killing it. I think I had about a 12 run winning streak prior to it, so didn't take long to get back on the W train though. Got a nice win. Called out in the Discord a little bit later on. All right, skull tapping and rejecting. Take note of that. Wow, level. This thing popped straight up, didn't it? The newest entry, and it would have worked. Oh well. Who remembers what I'm talking about? This candle popped straight up, didn't it? It did not have lower wick. Yeah, it literally popped straight up. Who remembers the new entry that I've been taking, but not taking on stream for a while? Very impulsive, but that was it. Do a cup of tea, that was it. And nonetheless, good to see it play out. Target, it's easier said after the fact, but that could have been an entry target. I looked to target a wick in the range of the, the 4 hour zone. The issue with this though, stop loss would have been very narrow above the high. I probably would have just put it substantially above the resistance, but look at it now. Wow. Sometimes you miss it. Not paying attention. Probably the downfall when you got so many different options to enter. Sometimes you just forget certain entry type. But good to see it play out nonetheless. I remember if that entry has to be at a 4 hour zone, cannot be the 30 minute, it's not strong enough. Often price will break through it like gold has done. GJ still melting. Yeah, so right now GJ, probably what I need is a pause. Interruption entry. Whilst price is trending, this is when you want to see that pause. The 15-minute candle closing back bullish, followed by another bearish engulfing, and then the sell limit order is in play. Take note of that, guys. There's free education yet again. The new entry is all about levels. Price tapping into a level. So we've got this 4 hour level. Target is generally market executor sells, price taps into a wick. Probably the first wick to the left hand side, the highest point of that wick. And then you're generally going to have your stop loss above the range. In anticipation, it's rejected that level in the past. It is a 4 hour level, so it is a significant level. And it's likely going to do so again. So it would have worked. Because we're at this rate, GJ might test the next support at 196.30 or even 196. Yep. There is a chance. Come on, guys. Conspiro ended up doji. Yeah, well, looks like it could do so, which is not great. GJ is going to continue down by the looks of it in the moment. So next option is 15-minute engulfing, bullish engulfing. It's going to close 30-minute back above. That is the last straw. That is now the only hope. So this isn't bad, but now for me to be involved in a trade, the next candle, this candle has to close like so, bullish engulfing, and that's going to close the M30 bullish with a long wick to the downside, up near its high, liquidity candle into the range below, only to reject, then I'm buying it on the next candle. That's again just as data prints, I reassess. Simple as that, guys. No emotions, no panicking. Shit, what do I do? It's a simple plan that works for me by having these, waiting for these catalysts to appear. These rules that I've tried and tested for the best part of at least 4.5 years or so scalping, 4 to 5 years of scalping. And I've been trading for well over 7 years now, so that's what I want to see if I'm to get involved. If it pumps just now, I'm not involved, and nor do I give a crap about it. If it dumps just now, I'm not involved, nor do I give a crap about it, because it's not my plan. So this would be the same scenario as GU before, but this is actually at a level. So 100% I will be looking to take it if it does that in the next 13.5 minutes. So what, these MY streams are an absolute pleasure. they're my streams with the Discord guys. They're really good, getting to chat with some of the guys, getting to know them a little bit more. It's a really good vibe in there, really good community feel. So once again, if you're not in there, it's for free, guys. So join the Discord, jump on the call later, and say good day. Conspiro, I send a Zoom link into the community chat when I'm ready to start, and that's usually about an hour before NY Open, roughly. So just keep an eye on the community chat. I do tag everyone, so I type in @everyone, and you should all get the notification if you have notification settings turned on. If you don't have it turned on, just be wary of the time, and around that 1 hour prior to NY Open, I'll likely send a link in, and you just click on that link and you'll be in. And don't be shy to jump on the mic, say good day, ask questions. Also within the Discord, there is the fundamentals section. There is a fair bit. I mean, I'll quickly show you it. Obviously, this is the chat, the community chat. I'm in it while I'm awake all the time, and other guys are always posting, sending shots in. I do keep an eye on who's engaging the most, because they may... I'm just keeping an eye for certain reasons moving forward. This is the market analysis. I send in a chart with not just a chart, because these arrows can mean anything. I actually attach with it a little video recording of what I want to see. Alrighty guys, looking at GJ, so like for instance that, and it's a couple minutes only. Sometimes if I'm not at the PC, I'll send in this sort of thing. Even if it's on my phone, I'll send something, a markup with levels marked in, level 1, 2, or 3, and what I want to see at those levels. What I want to happen to get involved in a buy. I want it, maybe it's tapping level 1 and pop up level 2, for instance, stuff like that. So this is all in there for free. Fundamental analysis. Big section there on it. There's crypto, which I mean, I've just done a chart. Anyone can chat in it, just no one decides to do so, but well, you're welcome to. I'd definitely get involved if there were people wanting to. And stocks as well. I invest in stocks. I'm keen on stocks, so if anyone does also invest or is keen on it, feel free to engage in that chat. VIP is not open yet. This will be all for VIP, educational videos. The course is a separate thing, but I'm going to upload the videos for the course, and the guys who have the course, I think that's just how I'm going to do it. I'll give them a link for that to access the videos that way. Yeah, so it's got all that there. Links to all the services and social media. So do join, it's for free. Right now we have, what's that, 116 members. Ravina, sorry, is New York safe for trading? Look, the volatility puts me off a little bit right now because I've not traded for a long time. So, look, as long as you follow the same process and stick to your plan and your rules, then it's just no different really to trading at any other time of day. There's just a little bit more volatility on especially gold and NAS, because NAS is another pair which, or in an asset class that some of the people that I coach do trade. So I keep a bit of an eye on it off late. And that thing's nuts around that time of day. So it just depends what you trade. I mean, yeah, I think it is a little bit different to London from what I can see. So Probably need to get used to it again, but there's nothing wrong with trading. Of course, you're going to get volume, that's for sure. All right, so let's see. Is GJ going to close that bullish engulfing 15? If it's not bullish engulfing, it has to close right up near the high minimum. Let's see, guys. Are we going to get an option on GJ? This thing needs to rip up in the next 4 and a bit minutes. And if it doesn't close engulfing, then what I might want to see is the new candle pop up, maybe even tapping into that bearish candle's high or even breaking it, then let it pull back, create its lower wick. Then if it begins to flip and break its own high again, that's when I would enter the buy. But we could have an option, guys. Just hold your horses, don't go anywhere. Going to be the hourly close as well. So the hourly is going to close bearish, but as long as we remain above that level, got the 30-minute catalyst, we've got a 15-minute catalyst, it could be I feel it's a good option. It's a valid option, which just requires waiting for this candle to close right up near the high, not like this. Close like this, it could just be a pause, and potentially the next candle could close bearish engulfing. We could end up heading back down. All right, 2 minutes remaining. So for me, there is nothing on gold. First of all, you probably need to clear that wick before any entry, and then there is no margin. So I just patiently need to wait. Thank you for the sub. So we'll see. Just under a minute. GJ needs to rip up now. needs to push in the next 45 seconds. Want this candle's close right up at its high, the 15-minute minimum. Now it's going to close the 30-minute bullish with a long wick to the downside. That would suffice. If not, it is no trade. It's just following the rules again, making it as emotionless as we possibly can. Just by following some rules. Should maybe rename the stream the Rule-Based Trader. Because pretty much that's what I am. Extremely rule-based. And it's not closing as I want it to close, so simple as that. It's a no entry for me. No entry. Gbpjpy, patience is the name of the game. It definitely is. Yeah, it definitely is. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna head off. I'm not gonna get an entry just now. Been on for already 2.5 hours. So, but moving forward, what I would like to see on GJ. So I'm not entering now. I don't care if it breaks. It did not tick the box for me. It's not a strong closure. It's actually closed back bearish. Oh, it's a doji, but not even back above that support. So what I'd like to see to validate any sort of entry just now is price pull up. So maybe a strong 15-minute closure up near the high, even if it pops above and closes above it, followed by another resistance forming. So I'll draw it in quickly. You guys probably already know what I'm talking about though. The ones that are here on the daily, on the regular. So I want this candle to close maybe like so. And this is the entry I took yesterday evening, my time, just after London open later on. Followed by the second 15-minute candle, closing like so, creating that minor resistance. We're going to close the M30 bullish. So we finally got a confluence of the confirmation of bullish candle closure in the M30 at that support, and it'll be engulfing that bearish candle as well, previous bearish doji candle. Then on the new candle, let it create a bit of low wick as it begins to flip, break above that minor resistance on the M15. There's your entry. Breaks the previous 30-minute candle's high, breaks the 15-minute resistance candle's high as well. High, low, high, high. And that's when I feel it would be a really good entry. So that will require waiting for this 30 minutes to close, and then you've got to comprehend that the 4 hours about to close as well. So on the other side of that, if the new 4-hour candle opens and we respect the low of the previous, and then start to push above, close above a minor resistance formed at the support, there could be options to buy it. Otherwise, just be patient with it. Let the 4-hour create its upper wick. There are levels we could potentially pull back to within the current daily on the new 4-hour to pull back to create its upper wick. We've got a level just here at 196.930 roughly. If price does reject that level, it could be the highest point of the new 4-hour candle's upper wick, and we could begin to head back down. Having said that, that's fairly deep into the previous candle. So even if it pulls back to retest the most recent support that's broken on 26,760, as long as you have the margin to look for your catalyst within price action and potentially sell it back down to retest the current daily / previous 4-hour candles low. If you have the volume momentum, there is a good chance we will continue down to 196.30 and then potentially 196 flat moving forward. Today's GJ. As for gold, for the buys right now, you need to let it pull back. I don't want to chop about just here, because then to me it makes it difficult to trade it again, similar to what we had at the level down below, range below. So right now on gold, I want to see either pop up, break above that resistance to only to reject and start popping back below for a sell, or pop above it, close above it, tap in, continuation buys, take it up towards that 23.70 sort of level. There's definitely enough margin to look for a buy above that level. Otherwise, buy options if it does pop up, reject, come back down. Buy options from the previous resistance. If we do confirm and form a support above that level, there is an option there to buy it. And otherwise buys lower down. The only way I'd sell it back in a range below 23.60 is if we pop down, consolidate bit, form a bit of support, and we start to close below. Then you're going to target, first of all, 23.58. So you might not have the margin though. And then back at the lows off the current daily around at 23.5590. So he's gold. And that's about a wrap, guys. Yeah, so keep an eye on GJ. I need to head off and have some dinner because I have a coaching session shortly, and I will be on for the MY call with the Discord guys later on. So once again, if you're not joined, if you've not joined the Discord, the link is down below. It's for free. You can jump on the MY call with us later and say g'day, have a chat. To everyone else, do hit the like button on the way out. I'm sure most of you have already done so. I'll be on tomorrow for around the same time, about 6:30 a.m. UK time. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your patience. Not the easiest session. Yeah, charts are moving a bit, but I just didn't have my right confirmation. So for me, it's a good session of discipline, patience, and we move on to the next. So yeah, so have a good day, guys. I will catch some of you for the MY call, and cheers until tomorrow. Trade safe. Bye for now, my friends.